Hey, this is Meredith's husband. I've got some SEO advice for you, but I'm going to keep it really simple so that you can understand it, so it makes sense, and most importantly, so you can actually use it. What's best? ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or Perplexity? This is a question I get with some frequency.
I think it would depend on what you're doing.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I thought I would talk about it a little bit. Now, this is going to be just basically from my own experience in using these. It's not like definitive, and they're obviously still continuing to change daily almost.
Yes.
And it's just opinion. There is no real best. But I am going to talk about a few different aspects of each. What are the strengths and weaknesses? Some are better in some things and worse than others. And there's some real, I think, disadvantages to a couple of them.
Interesting.
And if you listen carefully, you can hear Marcel in the background playing with a puzzle. So that's what that noise is. Of course, he's quiet now as I announce him.
You'll hear it.
Okay. So I think, like most people, I started with ChatGPT. I think when people begin, that's, at least a year ago or so, that's what we heard about first. It was the first one basically on the market. It got all the attention. I think it still has 80% of the market share or something like that. So it's the most popular one.
Right.
It's not necessarily the best. I'll say it's not the best. There are several disadvantages, but there are some advantages there. So I'm going to go through some different categories, like what are the, what's the kind of general personality? What are the memory features like? Marcel's getting really excited at this point. Doing specific tasks like writing or graphic design or strategic thinking, etc. And I'm going to tell you my impression in using them, which one I think is best for each of those. Now, I'll tell you, I've used ChatGPT a lot.
Yes.
I used it it was my main one over the last year during 2025.
Yeah.
Marcel also likes ChatGPT, I guess. I have switched to Claude. I use Claude more as my main one now. I still use ChatGPT for some things. I've used Gemini for a few things. I've used Perplexity a little bit, not a lot.
Use that one.
That's going to be probably what I try to explore a little bit. It's my own future.
Great.
Trying that one out. Okay.
Great.
So first, just the overall personality.
Yes.
Because they all kind of have personalities, I think is the best way to describe them, even though they are
and fonts.
And fonts. But yeah, I'm not worried about the font so much. I'm just going to say, what is it like conversing with each of these? So I'm going to begin with ChatGPT. Kind of annoying, if you ask me. In fact, take out kind of. It's fucking really annoying, if you ask me. And I think it is, I don't want to say it's like a party trick, but at first you're like, oh my gosh, it's so conversation. But it doesn't stop that. And if you ask it to stop doing things like stop telling me I'm so smart with every single response, stop using M dashes, stop doing, hey, this is the one-click solution will work 100% of the time. And it can, that sort of language, to me, the personality is kind of it's the used car salesman of the lot.
Yes.
Okay?
You're just tell me straight.
Yeah. And quit bullshitting me. Please don't keep bullshitting me.
I also found that in my experience that I wasted 3 days trying to do one thing and it kept saying, this is the right way. And I said, you're not using the updated version.
Yeah, me also.
You're right. And it goes, I feel like once you get in a bad rut, you just go round and round.
Yeah, and you just keep going around and around. Yeah. Exactly. I had the same problem multiple times.
Yeah.
Even when you specify the answer and what it is supposed to do. I'll get into that in a second. The memory, that was called the memory, what I would call the memory feature of it. I'll get into that separately. That's a little bit different. Okay, so that's ChatGPT. Gemini. So Gemini was created by Google.
Yeah.
And it was created by the people who work at Google, who are really engineers. They are, for the most part, PhD programming engineers. And the personality is kind of what you would expect. A little dry, actually, really dry. Not much fun to converse with.
Yeah.
Okay. But accurate. This leads to a strength, which I will cover when we get to that part. But very, very dry, factual, not a whole lot of fun to talk to.
Right.
My opinion.
Engage with.
Okay. Claude. Claude, I think, is a happy medium between those two. It's really nice. Personality-wise, I think of it as like kind of the college professor. Like, yeah, smart and very capable and conversational, but also dependable.
Yeah.
You know, kind of, to me, the happy medium. Consistent, follows instructions, still powerful, still can be creative.
Yeah.
I would say not as creative as ChatGPT. There's an advantage and a disadvantage there.
I may disagree.
ChatGPT can be creative to the point where it's complete bullshit.
Right.
It's just making stuff up.
Yes.
I found that Claude doesn't do that as much.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed. And design-wise, Claude has a little more of a aesthetic.
Oh, I'm going to disagree with you. Well, we'll talk about that one.
ChatGPT.
We will talk about that one.
Oh, yes, we will.
And Perplexity. The personality of Perplexity, I would say, of these four, is the one that's going to tell you how great it is.
Oh.
It's the one that's like, I'm the best. I'm the best for this reason and that reason. It does that 100%.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I haven't used Perplexity as much. Like I said, that's going to be my next endeavor to use it a bit more. So my experience with Perplexity so far has really been kind of exploratory. Like, hey, what are you good at? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I will say Perplexity is the only one that can use the others. Okay.
Oh.
So Perplexity has licensing agreements with the other models that when Perplexity gives you a response, some of it could be coming from ChatGPT, some of it could be coming from Gemini, some could be coming from Claude, some could be coming from the live web using Google. You don't really know.
And it doesn't say? I haven't used that yet.
It doesn't say specifically.
Okay.
But the big selling point, according to Perplexity, its big selling point is that it's the only one that has access to all of them. And the reviews that I have read about Perplexity, people say, yeah, it can do a lot of like research and data gathering and is really good at finding accurate information. Oh. So it uses a wealth of sources. And the one thing that I have noticed with Perplexity is with every response, it will give you a little section that you can open up, which says what the sources are. And there's a bunch of them. It's not like sometimes when you do this, I know it's not ChatGPT doesn't always do this and neither does Claude, but they will give you some sources and it might be 2 or 3. Perplexity will give you like 1 or 2 dozen. Ooh. Yeah. It is more robust in its research capabilities, I think.
And then would you click on those to follow those to dive deeper?
You can. Yeah, you can click on those. So next, let's talk about the memory feature.
Okay.
And this is where I think another area where ChatGPT does not shine very brightly at all. So memory, when you say things to ChatGPT like, hey, please don't use M dashes anymore.
Yes.
And it remembers that for maybe one message.
Yeah.
And then goes, and it's the same for pretty much everything. Really not very good. It gets very confused easily with the information that you have given it in the past and what it should follow. Now, I will say this. It does a much better job if you have special instructions for it. Put those instructions right in the project instructions. It will remember it better. Still not perfect, but it will be more apt to remember it than if you just say within a conversation, hey, right, please don't use M dashes because, and this is what I mean by the memory feature, there's no consistent memory between different chats. So like within your ChatGPT account, it doesn't remember what you said in one chat when you're inside another chat. Now, right, inside a project, it does have a shared memory.
Right.
Okay. Claude is similar, but every single chat has its own memory. There is no shared memory even
right,
within a project.
Right.
Okay.
I found that out. And there's also a limit. Claude limits you a lot more.
Yeah. Well, do you have a paid Claude account?
Yeah. And then I exceeded that for not very much what I thought. I
have noticed that too. The limit with Claude is it's not a 24-hour limit.
Every 5 hours.
It rolls every 5 hours. So if you run out, for me anyway, at least it has been close to that 5-hour limit, and I can sometimes say, okay, I need a break anyway. So
right.
It hasn't whatever. But anyway, I think if I were to declare a winner here, I would say it would be Claude for the memory. Like to Claude, you can say, even within a chat, it will remember within that chat, hey, don't use em dashes. But overall, I think the memory functionality is a little better with Claude. Gemini, so. I don't know. I haven't really used Gemini enough. And Perplexity, I don't know yet. Okay. Next, writing. So writing, I think, is probably the first thing that most of us did with any of these. Rewrite this email. An easy way to test something out. And it was super impressive. Even ChatGPT was really impressive. Now, in terms of writing, if you're just using AI models to rewrite emails, I would say that's just the very tip of the iceberg. Okay. You can use it to rewrite like literally anything you want. I use it a lot to rewrite web pages. Okay. And that is sort of, it's a little more strategic content, I think. Now, a lot of people prefer the writing style of Claude, just thinks it's a better copywriter.
Yeah.
I have sort of mixed feelings on this. Sometimes I have had a lot of times where I'm asking Claude to write something and I say, just make it a little more along these lines. And it just basically does exactly what I told it to do. It may changes one or two words. It doesn't change it much. Now, ChatGPT, on the other hand, is more creative. I think it is more dynamic, again, to the extent where it's just not accurate and sometimes ridiculous.
Yeah.
And for me, a lot of times the writing that I'm working on is marketing oriented. And I think ChatGPT has a little bit of an edge there, but I agree just in like, if I were to write a blog or something, let's say, I think the tone that Claude is going to create I'm probably going to prefer that. But ChatGPT, if you are using a single chat within ChatGPT and you say, hey, make it less promotional, or it does a pretty good job of that if you are just talking about a single piece of content within a chat. I think that does okay. Gemini, super dry. I tried this just like once or twice. I was like, okay, well, that I don't like that. And Perplexity, I have found was like very factual, like it gave really concise, crisp answers, short. ChatGPT, which you have nicknamed Chatty because you ask it a little question and it gives you 47 paragraphs of text.
And then it's like, hey, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want to do this?
Yes.
Which to somebody with ADHD is a nightmare.
Right. So and Claude is a little bit that same way. Claude, I found, one of the first things I found is Claude ended every single response with a question that had three options or three possible choices. And I found you could obviously never end a conversation. Like, I said that. I said, hey, please stop asking questions at the end of every response. That makes it so that I can never end a conversation with you. Right. And it stopped, and it has never done that since.
That's great.
So in terms of writing, I think it's probably Claude, but to me, ChatGPT is a close second for my writing purposes. Next, graphic design.
Yes.
This is where I think, in my experience, ChatGPT hands down winner. Like really good. And when I say graphic design, here's my use case. This is what I do. I'm working on a landing page or a web page of some sort, or I'm reviewing a page and the content, everything that's on that page. I take a screenshot of my design, I upload it to ChatGPT, and I get feedback.
Yeah.
I've done that with ChatGPT. I've done it with Claude.
Yeah.
When I do it with Claude, it just gives me stuff back that I'm like, no, that's wrong. Like that is just flat out not what I'm going for. Now, keep in mind, I'm designing stuff that has the end goal of marketing.
Right.
Okay. It's pretty specific in that sense. And ChatGPT does a really good job of considering my strategic goals and then how I arrange content. Does a really good job. And I found that Claude, you can ask it to adjust its feedback, but a lot of times I don't want the default starting point to be just wrong.
Right.
I don't want to have to do that every time. Right. So for this, I always now use ChatGPT 100% of the time.
Good to know.
Okay. So let's talk about strategic thinking. And what I mean by strategic thinking is like, this is what I do a lot of times. I'll have a conversation about, I'm trying to figure out what I should be doing with my business. Should I be working on project A or B? Which one is going to have the most immediate impact? How will it affect my long-term goal, et cetera, et cetera? And again, I found ChatGPT and Claude to be similar, like pretty close. And I now give the edge to Claude because, again, ChatGPT, sometimes it just makes shit up.
Yeah.
Which
doesn't help.
not a quality that I'm looking for in a strategic partner.
Right.
I have not used Perplexity for that at all. I have used Gemini. It was not very good. Gemini is not very good. The one thing, if you do that, the one thing I have found in asking questions like this of Claude is a lot of times it will come back and it will say, well, what do you think? Basically, it says, well, you could do this, this, or this. And they're kind of three obvious choices. And it says, which one feels right? And if I'm like, well, if I knew which one felt right, I would just be doing it. So that frustrates me a little bit. So for
I
that,
like that. Because then I can focus in like, oh, actually none of those, but this.
But you know what I like about ChatGPT is it thinks more outside the box. And then it gives me things that wouldn't occur to me naturally. Even if they're not, say,
That's
100%
true.
accurate. But then I can adjust. Then I can sort of manipulate those. And then what I do is I sort of use these as a daily assistant also.
Yeah.
So I take what comes out of the strategy conversation and then I put it into my daily assistant to help keep me on track. For that, I use Claude.
Yeah.
I used to use ChatGPT, but again, it made shit up, threw stuff into my day that I'm like, where did this come from? He's like, well, I thought it would, no. Okay, so I take the strategy and then I feed that into Claude. Then I can fine tune and stuff.
Yeah.
I find that works pretty well. Okay, so next, how to do very specific technical things. Like how do I set up a advertising campaign in Facebook? Or how do I set up an email campaign in MailerLite or MailChimp or something like that? For that, I found Gemini does a pretty good job. Yeah. ChatGPT, like you have said, you mentioned, you'll just end up going in circles and circles and circles and circles. It's very annoying. Yeah, it is the most annoying part of ChatGPT, if you ask me.
Me too.
Claude is a little better. Gemini I have found so far to be pretty much spot on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So how-to technical guides, I would say Gemini has the advantage there. So the voice features. So have you?
I haven't. I need to.
Okay. So this is something that, like, if you haven't done this, you can just speak to these things and they will speak back. It's a feature that they all have on mobile. However, whenever I'm in the office, I use the desktop versions,
right,
which ChatGPT has had, but it's going to be ending. I think it may have ended already. It's ending very soon because Apple wants to take away that feature.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
I'm on a Mac. Yeah, well, Apple wants to make everybody else's lives harder. If you're not using Siri as your AI, when you shouldn't be, if that's your only AI interaction. But if you're not using Siri, it's going to make it harder for you to use any of the other models while you're on a Mac. So Claude does not have this feature on the Mac desktop. ChatGPT will not very soon. I don't know how they're going to replace it. Perplexity and Gemini, I don't know. They all are available on the mobile versions, and I have found that the Perplexity one is actually the best.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really good because you run into the issue of, like, if you're speaking something and let's say you pause, it could like think you're finished and then start answering, and then you can't interrupt it to stop it to finish your question.
Right.
And I've just found that using it naturally, Perplexity is noticeably better in having a actual dialogue.
Huh.
SEO stuff.
Yes.
So using one of these to help you with SEO, which is what we do now in my mentoring program.
Yes.
Things like doing your keyword research and writing your title tags and your meta descriptions and your image tags and your headings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I have prompts that will help you do all that. And in doing that, Claude is usually the winner.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take those prompts and use them in anything, and it will give you a slightly different personality.
Right.
So it comes down to which do you prefer again. But Claude is pretty solid and dependable, whereas again, ChatGPT usually it's fine. Every once in a while, totally off.
Such an asshole.
Such an asshole. Okay, so I think for me the overall winner, if I had to choose one and just use one, it would be Claude.
Yeah.
Although I still do really like the graphic design aspects in ChatGPT.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you find this helpful and useful. And if you do, what you could do for us as a thanks would be to, drumroll please, yes, leave a review. Yes, everybody says it, I know, but it really does make a difference. Take 3 seconds, leave as many stars, say something really nice about what you like about the podcast and maybe why other people would like it. It would mean the world to us, especially my husband. That better? All right, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to be charming.